So a lot of brands are reaching out, but specifically in our culture, we're having issues like negotiating the higher pay because, at Afrotech this year, they did come out with statistics on influencers and what types of influencers increase the most sales. And right now, the wages are not reflecting what the statistics are. So, a part of speaking up for your clients is knowing what the market rates are and making sure they're getting them or above that.
Right. So you're doing your research. You know what influencers, because influencers now is an actual career, and we didn't really have the data. What's up, everyone? It's Neveen the Queen. And I'm here with a really cool person that I really like. She goes by Miss Newsworthy. Do you guys know who she is? AKA Reshauna. Say what's up.
Hi, you guys. This is Miss Newsworthy, also known as Reshauna. I don't know if anyone calls me. I don't know. It was just like an Instagram name, but then I guess now it's a real thing.
What, Miss Newsworthy?
Mm-hmm. I have a website now and everything.
How long have you been called that?
Probably right after we were in the streets. I think 2021.
Okay, she made it sound really bad. Being in the streets, it sounds like we were prostitutes, but that's not what was going on.
No.
Well, Reshauna and I, around right before COVID happened in 2020, the whole Black Lives Matter.
Yes.
We used to protest together.
And we had Deion Johnson because everybody was out.
Yeah.
But I don't think people realized the same day as George Floyd, we had Deion Johnson here in Arizona. That same day. So that's what it kind of started. And then we found out about George as well.
Yeah.
And it snowballed.
Yeah, it was pretty cray-cray. Reshauna and I had a team, and we were just, oh my God, we were going ham.
Almost every day.
Every day. And we're getting maced all the time.
Yes. And shout out to Monarch.
Yeah, Monarch.
They helped us out. They let us use their place as headquarters. So I'll always party there from now on.
Yeah, and you kind of took over, weren't you? Working with the head of the chief of police and right?
Yeah, so my biggest thing with that was just an educational thing. I noticed the first couple protests I went out just solo by myself. I realized a lot of people didn't really understand why they were there or what they wanted out of being there.
Yeah.
And I feel like, even as a strategist in my work, we don't go into anything without a plan.
Yeah.
Or at least knowing what we want out of the effort.
Right.
So I feel like protesting's the same. You should know why you're out there. You should know what you want from it.
Yeah.
You should know when you'll stop, those types of things.
Yeah.
So that you don't just go all of the levels of the elevator.
Honestly, girl, I think a lot of people were just out there because they believed in equality, right? I didn't even know what I was getting myself into, to be honest with you. I just was passionate about the movement, and I wanted to also, support and get the equality. But I didn't. I never thought it would go in the way that it went.
Go so far. Well, I didn't.
So intense.
Yes, it was intense, and I'm glad that we took our time when we did, but we also didn't let that stop us from moving on. I think now I've kind of learned not only just a work-life balance, but an activism life balance.
Right.
Because your pain can't be your whole identity.
Right.
And I think the greatest rebellion is to have joy and to have relaxation and to have freedom, those things that you're fighting for.
For sure. Who was on our team? I forgot his name. We got arrested.
Rocky Tirade?
No. Oh my God, we love you, Rocky.
Yes.
We love you, Rocky. That was on our team. I'm super.
Rocky is still going.
Rocky's going crazy.
Still going
when it comes to that.
We both are. I think forgive me if I'm wrong, Rocky. I think he's at Arizona Dems.
He's going crazy in that. He excelled. We had another guy on our team, but I don't remember his name.
No,
he got arrested.
Well, a lot of them got
arrested. A lot of them that,
Yes, a lot of people got arrested.
I think he's still in jail though. It's been a long time.
No, I don't know.
Okay. I forgot his name, but he was also protesting. The reason why I bring him up is right as that Black Lives Matter was going on, COVID started, like you started hearing whispers of COVID. Do you remember? They're like a monkey and a snake
Yes, and then
did something. It was like,
and they were also attacking the Asian community as well. Because when COVID first started, I actually wasn't living here. I was living in LA, and that was supposed to be like my big move and do everything. But I got nervous and I came back. So when you met me out there protesting, I had just got back from LA. And I heard that like, okay, this thing is going to be here to stay. It's not a little flu.
We were joking. We were joking about COVID. I thought it was just like hearsay, right? And I was like, whatever, it's bullshit. But I bring up the guy that we protested with. I remember sitting in my car after a protest, and he just starts coughing. He was like, I don't feel good. And I'm like, are you okay? And he had his mask on, right? And he's just coughing. And I'm in the car. He takes his mask off, and I have my mask on. And that was like towards the end. And I was moving to LA, like towards the end of the protest.
Crazy.
So I remember driving, because I'm all of a sudden I'm like packing, I'm driving to LA. I went and got tested for COVID. It was like so strange to even hear about that. I'm like, whatever, this is nothing. Driving to LA and I feel okay. And I get a call. They're like, Neveen, this is whatever. You got your test results back. You got COVID. I'm like, shut the fuck up. I'm like, what the fuck?
I do remember you getting sick.
But I'm like, this is a joke. This is a joke, right? So I end up in California in my new place. And then all of a sudden I'm coughing. I'm sick. It's all respiratory. I couldn't breathe. I turned yellow. I was so yellow. And I'm like, what the fuck is this? It was the scariest thing I've ever experienced in my life, because not only am I really sick, now I can't go anywhere. I'm trapped in my apartment by myself. And I'm having like constant anxiety, panic, asthma attacks. I was always in the hospital like weekly, and I couldn't be around anybody.
No.
For 5 weeks, it was the scariest thing I ever experienced. And that lingered for months and months and months and months.
So you had long COVID.
Yes.
Where it stayed
for months.
Do you have bronchitis or something?
No.
Is that why?
I had asthma when I was little. But shortly after that, I got diagnosed with breast cancer.
Do you think like you being in the hospital is why they caught it early, or do you think
they didn't know I didn't get diagnosed with breast cancer during the whole COVID? I believe that I got breast cancer because of COVID.
You think your immune system was
I believe
low?
So, yes.
Is that so? I do want to know
part of it. Yeah.
Are there different types
of what?
Like, because I know with
COVID
cancer, no, with the breast cancer.
Yeah, there's different types of cancer.
Yeah,
breast cancer.
What kind did you have?
I had estrogen dominant breast cancer, which a lot of women have. 80% of women that get breast cancer is estrogen dominant. And the scary thing is if you're not balancing your hormones, you can get like estrogen dominant. It could turn into like an autoimmune disease. It can turn into like fibroids. It can be endometriosis. There's like a lot of things that can come of it. But a lot comes into play when you're getting diagnosed with something like that. So I can't pinpoint and say exactly that it was COVID that caused this, because there's a lot of other things that go with it. But
but your immune system was lowered
a lot.
And I heard it's also like you can create cancer if your mental is being attacked.
Everything.
So, stressing, sad, depressed, like I'm stuck inside, the worry.
It was a lot. Yeah. So it was a lot. But so that was a very tough time for us, and then for me, and then like I ended up coming back to Arizona because I was like, I don't feel good. I didn't know that I had breast cancer. I just knew that I was like, oh my God, I moved to LA, and I went back to LA, and I was so happy, and I got there, and I'm just sick with COVID, and then the whole world shut down. Shut down. And then I was like, I don't feel good, so I came back to Arizona.
Yeah, Phoenix and LA, I think they did a total shutdown.
It was so scary.
I was, honestly, a part of me was like scared, but a part of me was also grateful because I felt like right before COVID, everything was going so fast. But we were going fast to what seemed like as a culture nowhere. So I think it was like kind of like that shock to the system of like, okay, everyone be grateful, everyone slow down, everyone figure out what you want to do, everyone actually talk to your family and figure out who they are at that time. Like learn to lean on each other in a way. We're like forced to. It's almost like it was regulated almost. Everyone had to stay indoors. So whoever you lived with or whoever was there, those were your people.
Right.
So when you came back here, I'm not sure who you're with. I was with family at that time.
Yeah.
When you came back, were you as well?
Well, I had my family. I wasn't living with them. I was living with someone else, and it was just rough, man. I'm glad that, but yeah, I agree. Like everybody was just like moving so fast and without a thought in the world, like, you know, that life just passes by so quickly. You know, but COVID fucking stole a lot of our lives. It stole like 4 years of our lives, right?
Sometimes I don't count it. So I'm like, I'm still young, still 21 because COVID took those years.
Yeah.
And so sometimes you got to go back and hit those milestones that it took. I think for the time after protesting, I stayed inside. I was one of those girls doing the Chloe Tings workouts.
Oh, shit.
And I was doing them 2 times a day. And I was figuring out stocks. I think at that time, because you have to remember, I've been a remote worker since I was like 14 or 15.
I don't know that.
Yeah, you
Tell
don't
me.
know that? Yeah, I started really, really young. So I was
14?
doing, that was when MySpace came out. Okay, I'm not gonna lie, I did something bad. I'm never apologize. I have to apologize for it now.
Yeah, tell me. We liked people to confess their badness.
Tell me. So actually, that's crazy because my story starts out with cancer. A lot of my family members got cancer all at the same time.
Oh.
So I think I was 14. I was going into high school, and I had my biological father, my stepfather, and my grandmother all pass like back to back over that middle school year of going in. I mean, now it's okay, but like going to it as a kid, that's a lot because you're watching your parent, lose one of their parents while you're losing your parent as well. So it's tough, but I felt like with stuff like that, it kind of spreads in your neighborhood. So I just feel like everyone was kind of talking about me like, okay, she's going through a lot. Obviously, I'm not being my cutest self because I have adult problems.
Yeah.
I'm not going to the mall and all of that or dating, doing any of those things. So I think a lot of people, because I didn't talk about it, they just thought like, okay, this is who she is, especially because I was at a new school that year as well. So, it was kind of like a little bit of, I guess, activism, a little protesting, like, okay, if everyone's going to talk about me or talk about my friends or the small people, like, two can play that game. I know that words are very powerful. And even if they're not true, sometimes if they're spoken enough, it can become someone's reality.
Or a spell.
Exactly. So like cancel culture, those types of things. So I started a blog when MySpace came out. It was my first blog. It was about my high school and
Oh shit. You were talking trash?
a little bit, yeah, a little bit. But most of the stuff, what I did was, because I didn't know everyone, I was obviously like pretty new, but I put what was called like a truth box on there.
So you're like a mean girl, like the movie.
Not mean.
I could see you in the movie Mean Girls.
Exposing their mean. Okay.
Right. But I'm saying, can't you see her in the movie Mean Girls?
Thank you, Fleek. I appreciate
I'm not saying you're the mean one.
Look, I was going through a lot, y'all. Okay, I was, and it went so far, it went so crazy. And then a lot of kids were they started putting innocent things in the truth box, like so and so, like so and so. But then it got a little dramatic, and I think that's when the adults and then the law were alerted.
Oh my God!
Yeah,
the
because
law.
it was an anonymous, so nobody knew.
What was said?
I'm saying like my whole blog. Nobody knew who made the blog. So this blog just pops up at your school.
Right.
And they're like, okay, we don't know who's behind it. And then I put a truth box on there. So then people are like, well, how did my secret get on there? And it's like, well, one of your friends obviously is not your friend. So you got to figure that out, because I feel like that's what I was kind of going through. You know what I mean?
Right.
But I used it for good too. There were a couple kids that were getting bullied that I'm like, I'm gonna get you guys some, because everyone started reading it. I wasn't expecting everyone to read it, but that's how I started my writing career and just doing PR.
That is that is the coolest shit I've ever heard.
I was like, I'm gonna control the narrative. If there's going to be a narrative about me, I am gonna whistle down my narrative.
Okay. So you became PR
right
14 years old.
Right there. Because I guess my mom, she kind of like ingrained in us, especially for little Black girls at that time, like, you need to always be presentable. Like, your name is literally all you have, right? Especially now, you don't have either of your fathers, and my mom, she's working. She's, lacking support because her parent, is grieving as well. So it's like, if all I have is my own back, you can bet that I'm gonna do it, and I'm gonna do a big one. I'm a Capricorn, so
she's dangerous.
We are scorched earth people, but
she's dangerous.
I've since rolled back. Yeah. Now obviously I've healed from a lot of that stuff, and I don't mind saying it. Like, I'm a nice girl, I'm a kind girl, but don't play.
I'm telling y'all, she's dangerous. In a good way.
In a good
way. But that's good though. So you have that energy. Like, you don't get played, you don't get messed with. Do you apply that into your PR when you're representing your clients? Tell me about what you do exactly.
Yes. So I definitely do. I would say our industry, you have to have thick skin. You have to be able to hear the word no and know that it's basically meaningless. I would say for anybody like coming in this industry, that's the first rule. No, if someone says no, you didn't see it, you didn't hear it, it got bleeped out like Charlie Brown.
You just ignore it.
and you full steam, because it's just telling you that that's not your person, and you got to move around. So for my clients, that's pretty much what I do. I make sure that they find their yeses, and that if there were any no's, they never find out about it.
Right.
But I represent a lot of brands and a lot of personal individual brands. So right now, one of my clients, she's actually advocating for lupus awareness, Monica, and I have a couple influencers on my roster as well. This year is my first year taking influencers.
Good for you.
Honestly, wouldn't change it for the world. Great batch of people. Shout out to all the influencers I'm working with. I think that I've learned a lot, especially like with you, like how you're putting out all the videos, how hard that is, and a lot of dedication goes into it. But getting press, I think, is what takes an influencer from an influencer to a public figure, a celebrity, a household name. So with them, that's the main goal.
So what would you do? So somebody comes to you, an influencer, and says, Reshauna, I want to, exactly what you said, I want to be a household name. How would you help them? Like, what would you do?
So I consider myself a strategist. I can take someone from point A to point D, kind of like a dream maker, really.
Right.
But in order for me to help the clients, one, they have to already come helped. So I tell them that PR is just like a GPS system.
Right.
This is only going to work if you know exactly where you want to go, you know how much gas you have, and you have a vehicle to get there. If you don't have all three of those things before you come to me, you're going to be unhappy no matter where we go. We have certain celebrities that they're winning Golden Globes, but they're unhappy. Right. Or, maybe they did get the movie with Will Smith, but it didn't do what they were expecting it to do. So the first thing I'm going to do is help you find out where that place is and what vehicle you have to go and how far you can go.
Right.
And once you've got that, I'm going to build your strategy to get there, using my background in PR, but mainly also using the connections that I've built over the last 10 to 12 years I've been doing this. I think we're a little over 15. I don't want to date myself.
Girl, I'm like, you're a baby still. So you just been doing it for a very long time. So clearly you're passionate about it. You love it. You know this. It's your
It's
natural.
the back of my hand for sure.
Right. You were born to do this type of work. So you come up with a strategy and then you execute. So what are some of the things that you do? Like, what are some of the services that you would offer?
So I would say the services people actually come to me the most, because getting press is something that, you have that going in the background. But those clients that are coming in quickly and directly usually are coming either for lifestyle management. So maybe they want to do more panels. They want to be invited to the BET Awards. They want to do things like that. They're coming for lifestyle management. Or they are, going through what younger Reshauna went through, and they have a crisis and they need to take control of their narrative and their situation.
Right.
So I'm coming in to help them rewrite the story and then publicize the story.
He's going to need you, Dom. 2 times going to need you.
Yeah.
With everything, yep. We'll introduce you.
I'm like, what crisis does he have going on? I'll jump right in.
Well, we'll talk about it afterwards. But yeah, you definitely, we just had him, we interviewed him. He went from like artist to OnlyFans, porn to back to artist, and like all kinds of other stuff. So that's something that you can help. You could rewrite the narrative and
and get him to where he would like to go
and bring his name back.
And it's possible. I see people go from porn to preaching all the time. Like, it's literally a thing.
That is a brand. That is a t-shirt. Porn to preaching.
Yep.
I would wear that. I would wear that.
How marketable. That's what I do.
There you go. I would wear that shirt.
You've got the buy-in now.
So if somebody, so you would rewrite their narrative, right? So we want to like bring their image. So you're gonna.
Yeah. So you can also get like brand consulting or image consulting.
Right.
That's what we would probably do for him. So
right.
Your image needs a little shaping. And we're gonna shape that.
And then you write press releases.
Yes.
Tell me,
press releases.
It's probably a lot of stuff.
Probably the smaller things. So there are a couple like small a la carte items that people will come for, like the press releases. Okay, I have an event coming up. Maybe I need a release for that. Or just after the activism, I get a lot of people like, this happened to me and I want to share my story.
Gotcha.
Can you write this? And those ones I will do as well. Those are called human interest.
Okay.
And I don't mind them. They're not, my bread and butter, but I'm always going to be for the community. So
what's your bread and butter?
Bread and butter now has got to be influencers, blowing them up, publicizing them, getting them to reach the milestones that they're looking for. I feel a lot of gratification when someone can tell me like, okay, I never thought this would happen. And now we're here. Those are the moments that make me cry. I'm excited for those.
So when an influencer comes, like, what are you exactly doing? Are you contacting agents? Are you getting them hosting gigs? Are you getting them on like interviews?
So a lot of times I think people get confused between an agent and a manager and then the publicist.
Right.
But each of us have our own jobs. So the manager will usually get their bookings. Some of the influencers on my roster have both. They have me and they also have their management. Some of them also have agents. Like I have a couple actresses and they will have their agent and then their manager and then me.
Right.
I mainly focus on their image and reaching their professional milestones. So the managers, sometimes we're working in tandem, sometimes not. But my goal is to get them to their goals, and all of their goals are individualized. So you have one influencer that's coming to me and maybe his goal is to launch a product. He's like, I'm on YouTube. Obviously don't want to be on YouTube forever.
Right.
I need to launch this product. And then I have another influencer, she's coming to me. She's growing. Okay. I think when she got to me, she had 360,000 and now we're on our way to like 500,000 on IG.
Good for her.
She just really wanted the press, first of all, because people, they see a lot of content online,
right?
But they don't actually know who you are. And that press, those articles, the appearances and the panels, that's where your brand narrative begins.
Okay.
And that's where I want to get my clients and then have them excel in that area.
Okay. So yeah, you're going to help them get their story out, get people to know who they are, learn about them versus like, okay, I just saw a video of this person super funny on Instagram. Okay, next. It's like you're really going to like
develop them.
Yes.
So people are knowing, okay, I saw their funny video, but now I know that person grew up in St. Louis.
Gotcha.
I know, they grew up on a farm. Now they're a city person. It gives them a little more to relate to.
Right.
And I think it also gives brands a third eye into who do we want to represent our brand.
Right.
Because it's more than just the clicks, the views, the comments. It's about brands aligning and brand personalities matching.
Right.
So, I wouldn't put, one of my manly clients to Juicy Couture tracksuits, that doesn't, probably doesn't work out. I could be cute, but probably wouldn't work out. So I want to first help my clients find out, who and what you are, and then who do you align with, and let's get you in there.
How do people pay you though? So just PR is so important and it's not going anywhere.
No.
Like a lot of jobs, like, AI and all that, it can do a lot of writing for you. AI can do almost everything, but the one job that can't be taken away is PR because nothing beats a real person.
Yes, and you have networking. Gut.
Right.
I think the biggest thing, I think we talked about this before camera started, is like in order to make things happen, you have to have a gut. You have to be able to read people. You have to be able to read the room.
Yep.
And right now, AI cannot read the room.
AI doesn't even know if it's a guy or a girl. I ask it all the time.
Wow, I never thought.
Because I talk to AI, I do. Like it's a friend. I'm like, hi. He's like, hey, Neveen, how are you? I'm like, why are you so excited? I'm like, are you a man or are you a woman? He's like, I don't have a gender. Like, we have a conversation.
Do you not tell your AI to like chill out and not talk like that? No. I tell mine don't talk like that.
So you do talk to AI. So I'm not the only crazy person having a conversation.
I have, so in my agency, I have both humans and I have AI contractors working.
Whoa.
Yeah, I have both.
That's wild.
You got to be able to go fast, with marketing. That updates every 2 years or so. So, I started with the AIs, I want to say right after COVID. It was pretty early.
Oh, you started a long time ago.
I knew they were going to be big.
Taking over.
Basically. And now we're going to have the supercomputers too.
Oh, good stuff.
I am not someone who can work a supercomputer. So I need one of my AIs to be on that, researching that and preparing to teach me for later.
Yeah, I like appreciate it, but it also like really scares me. But again, PR, like public relations, that job is not going to go anywhere because nothing beats human.
Yes.
Like a real person that can read the room, that could really, do the networking and
make decisions for you on the fly as well.
Correct.
So you were asking me about, did I learn to kind of speak up a little more for my job? A lot of it with the influencers is negotiation. So a lot of brands are reaching out, but specifically in our culture, we're having issues like negotiating the higher pay because, at Afrotech this year, they did come out with statistics on influencers and what types of influencers increase the most sales. And right now, the wages are not reflecting what the statistics are. So, a part of speaking up for your clients is knowing what the market rates are and making sure they're getting them or above that.
Right. So you're doing your research. You know what influencers, because influencers now is an actual like career, and we didn't really have the data. Like when I was younger, I was an influencer, but I didn't know what an influencer was.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
We were all influencers. We were posting online. We were working with different businesses and wearing their clothes.
Music.
Yeah.
Like the raves and stuff.
I think they just called it modeling back then.
Well, that's not what I was doing. Shit. I was like,
but we were not. I always felt like I was not a model. Right. Like I'm not Gigi Hadid, but I'm wearing this person's clothes and I'm promoting their brand. I think influencers kind of transformed the brand ambassador.
And then some. I mean, they're doing more than just representing like brands and clothing, which is
content
great.
creating now. So I think I
So
feel
much.
like it's two separate things because I noticed there are influencers that just influence and they have content creation teams.
Yeah.
Or like that boyfriend or girlfriend that's filming for them.
Yeah.
And then there are some that are triple threats. Like in front of the camera, I'm behind the camera.
Yeah.
I'm also doing music or making the beats.
Mhm.
And I'm like, they're going beyond. I don't know what to call that.
Superheroes.
They're like nowadays superheroes, especially when you look at, I think for me, the biggest reason going into PR was the social impact.
Right.
I quickly found out that whoever controls the narrative kind of controls the reality.
Mhm.
And I wanted to experience like seeing positive things about Black women, Black men, and not even just us, but all minorities online.
Right.
When my teen years were going about, I noticed that a lot of the media companies were owned only by white people. And I thought, okay, well, if they see things differently, if they see me differently, how would anybody else? I think
Right.
when I started Melanin Media, were you around during those days?
When you started what?
Melanin Media, me and La Monique?
No.
I think you came after.
I think I was in California. I met you.
It was after 2017 was Melanin Media days.
I don't know where I met you, honestly.
Me either.
But I know we were just protesting together.
But we knew each other prior too, and I never knew where, but I told myself I was going to ask today. But now I know you don't know.
I don't know. I have the worst memories, so you're asking the wrong girl.
That's how PR works. Just right there. The relationships merge.
Yeah.
And now here we are.
And here we are. So if somebody wanted to book you, do you have like a service, like something they could see what services, and then do you put on there what you charge, or do you get like
consultations? So I like to customize everything. I think the biggest benefit to getting a personal versus like an agency or an in-house is that you can pretty much make it your own. Your PR campaigns don't have to run like anyone else. You can really take you and your personal publicist and create something that is all your own. You're not just a number on a roster. I noticed, because I started in the music industry, and I would see certain artists are getting the red carpet, and then they've got the younger other artists under, and they're just getting like the tag.
Right.
Like they're getting in the XXL magazine. It's that main artist, and then they're just like featured.
Right.
And I was like, okay, for my clients, I want them to get the big dog. So if anyone's booking me, I would go to my website, missnewsworthy.com. If you're finding me on IG, my links are there. So we'll always start with consultation because everything is
it a free
based off
consultation or is it paid?
So I do meet and greets. I like to do a vibe check. So I don't just take every client.
Gotcha. That's good.
I don't think that's the way to go in PR. I think it really does have to be an alignment of personal brands and personal values. So I do that now as like a filter, like a free 15-minute call, just like a vibe check. And then if it checks out, they proceed. So I call them if calls.
Okay.
So like if we like each other, if they get my sense of humor, we can go forth with this because it does get personal.
Yeah.
Sometimes your publicist, especially for crisis management, I'm someone you've got to tell the truth to.
Yeah.
It's like a lawyer. I need to know what is under the bed so that I can, the best crisis cleanup is going to be crisis prevention. So if I know about it before, you're in the best bet. Please do not come to me after it blows up. Because most people know. They know that they've got something back there that could do it. Don't be that person like.
But if it does blow up,
Kim K it, Kris Jenner it all the way.
That's what I'm saying. But when someone's not, they're hiding something and they're like, they don't want it out. They probably don't want to come to you and say, hey, there's this thing. They're hoping it'll go away. But if it doesn't and like, comes out and it's like really, really, really bad, Could they come to you?
Yeah, they can come to me.
And then you can try to.
What I tell my clients, 90% of you all that come, you do not have a crisis. What you have is a major concern.
Okay.
My rule is if nobody's dead or dying, it's not really a crisis. It is a major concern. And my main job is to turn your crisis into currency. How can we get you on the side of happy, on the side of this benefits me and it will all be okay?
That's a good way to think about it, honestly, because it kind of softens like the anxiety of like, oh my God, you're like, it's not a crisis. You're good. It's all right. We're going to figure this out. You know?
When you think about it, a lot of people who are seeking PR are really seeking power. But the only way to get power is through energy. And, energy is neither created nor destroyed. It has to be transferred. So whether it's a positive thing or a bad thing, that's energy. And we can use that to kind of propel you to where you want to go. So I think that's where there's no such thing as bad publicity comes from.
That's what I was just going to ask you. Do you agree with like there's no bad thing? Like,
so here's the thing. I used to agree with that. I would say in the 90s, early 2000s, there was no such thing as bad publicity because they're getting you in a newspaper, in a magazine. You know, they can sell out of those.
Right.
Nowadays, we've got video cameras and we can replay that bad news until it's the only news. Yeah. And then that news can become your reality, like through cancel culture. Yeah. So maybe you weren't a bad person before, but everybody kind of bullied you.
That's crazy.
You into becoming this person.
We had another, like you introduced me to that girl that was just on Pop the Balloon. So you would be perfect for her as well because they're doing that to this girl.
Really?
They just took out a few things that she said on there and they made their own video. It just like says literally they're sabotaging her online right now. Of like they just pulled out
and they did some cuts. Did she have the full video?
She has the full video, but she put together her own video to like show everybody like that's not what it said, but that's what she's experiencing right now.
Exactly, and that's what I mean when I say the narrative now can be your reality really fast. Yeah. So tread lightly. I mean, we're not,
and it's scary because there's like AI, like you can do anything with AI, like. You don't know if it's really
army bots. So they say on Instagram, on Twitter, and on Threads, about 60% of what you see is not real people. And
I don't like that.
I think it's true. I say there's good PR and there's dark PR. And they both have their times to shine, okay? But with social media, I would say be aware that even with buying a book on Amazon, be aware of it because there are people paying people for comments. There are people, but
gotcha. Yeah.
I err on the side of, hey, if it's real, it's real. You know what I mean? In our industry, you have to be delusional or you're not going to make it.
Delulu.
If you're not Kanye delusional, you're not going to make it.
I'm Kanye delusional. Let's call me Delulu.
Delulu's the Delulu over here. Delulu the queen. Because you can Delulu until it's, real.
Fake it till you make it.
So Kodak Black, perfect example.
Oh yeah, wasn't he canceled?
No, so
for a minute he was.
Yeah, he's been canceled. He's been purchased, all of that. He's from where I'm from. Yeah. So, originally I'm from Florida. I understand there's not a lot of options where I'm from, which is why my mom grabbed us and brought us over here. Yeah. So for him, he's like, these payola, the bots, this music thing, maybe I don't, want to be a rapper. Maybe I like gospel music, but this is how I see I'm going to do it. And I'm going to use these bots and I'm going to run my streams up and people are going to say, oh, but it's not real. Your streams aren't real, but they are now. The money that he made from those streams was real. The life that he gained after was real. So
there you go.
That's why I say like they both have their times to shine.
Right.
I think Cardi B did the same thing.
All right, man. That's like you just educated us on some like real shit. I just want you guys to know if anything weird comes out on the internet, it's not me. It's AI. It wasn't me. It wasn't me.
No deep fakes. Those scare me.
Woo? See, I don't even know what a deep fake is.
See, a crisis manager, we have to know these.
I'm going to need a PR. Whatever you see on the internet, if it's weird, it wasn't me. It's definitely AI. Reshauna, I'm going to need you.
I gotta pretend with likeliness.
Right now, I gotta talk to you about some things.
You gotta get a lawyer. I think everybody should have lawyers.
I have
and
3 lawyers.
like digital lawyers that
Yeah.
only focus on our digital reality person. Because now there's a whole like metaverse and everything.
Well, there are attorneys, like the attorney that I have that I work with, he does. He works with influencers, he works with artists. Like, I think now attorneys that are in the entertainment industry know that that's like
A big
yeah,
thing.
for sure.
So I have to
Yeah.
get his number because
I got you.
I think we need that.
Yeah.
Especially during those like negotiations.
Yeah.
For me, I feel like my next step is I really want to take this global, and I think I want to bring my community in.
You mean take your brand global? This Newsworthy? Okay.
I support it. I want to have influencers in London. I want to have them here. And I want to have remote workers all over too. I definitely believe in find people who are passionate and teach them the sauce.
Okay, well then we're gonna manifest that for you because here on SongLab Live, Fleek and I love to talk about manifestation. Right? So mark that.
Yes. And I think it's stronger when there are more people. I think for me, because I also started influencing on my own, going to those events, it's definitely worth it. But it is a little bit lonely, like getting into a new place, being the new girl, being, having to set up your tripod, doing things like that. So what I'm doing this year, coming to change that, is that I'm coming out with a new calendar and basically publicizing my calendar so that if people want to come along, all they got to do is subscribe. And then you can see all of the events I'm going to that year. Because I think a lot of people, they want to go, they want to do this, but who has time? Like, nobody has time to be looking up when Afrotech is, when BeautyCon is, when those things are. I know I didn't. Right. I got lucky. I got blessed. Some little girl in Nigeria, she used to watch my videos, my content, and she just decided to start doing it. I think she asked me, and I even said no. I was like, no, I just don't even have money to have an assistant. And she did, and she's been with me for 2 years now.
Wow.
And she developed this project. Her name is Harmony, and we just released it on December 1st. So I would say for people who are looking for somewhere to start, but they're not really sure, that's going to be your way in for sure. If I see you at an event and you tell me that you popped up there based on this calendar, like, you're in with me. And I think just seeing familiar faces will help, because I don't know that a lot of influencers will talk about it, but that's a huge thing.
Yeah.
Going up, it's a happy thing, but it can also be a very sad thing.
Well, dang. Like, you are just like filled with amazing advice, and just like, I think we need to bring you back. Would you be down to do like maybe like a workshop with us, or like, just talk to the audience?
Like a series.
I
Because
want
I think you know stuff too. And I
I
feel
know
like
everything.
the unique perspectives that we have, people need to know. We need to bring PR out from the shadows, because especially with Phoenix, now is the time.
I think you would be, I think you'd be excellent, and people could really benefit from you. Just kind of like schooling people like you've been, like, in the little bit of time that we've just sat down to talk about everything, what PR is. Like, I feel like we have barely just scratched it, right?
Because
There's so
it's
much
grown
more
now, and
Right.
especially with social media.
And everybody still hits me up. I'm like, I'm not a manager. Like, I don't manage anymore.
Yes, we're not managers.
I never consider myself a manager. I could do it, but I wasn't like, this is me. But a lot of people still like are lost. They're like, hey, I got this music, I don't know what to do or whatever. So I think it would benefit to have you maybe even if you like started doing like tips of the week.
Yes, I think I do. My biggest thing now, I had to build out a team. So I kind of had to, for a while, because I told you I started at 15, 14. So growing up online was actually, you know what is crazy?
What?
When I was in school, I met a celebrity. I don't remember if it was Keke Palmer or it was the little black girl in That's So Raven. Both of them have come out to Arizona. I won't give too much tea. But one of y'all came out, and we're having like a secret disguise on, because obviously you can't just be a Disney Channel person out at ASU partying, but
Mm.
I was promoting myself at that time, and I asked them, like, any advice or whatever, and clear as day, they told me if I had a chance to redo this all, I would go through my teen years and my 20s privately and then come out. I would have my awkward mistakes,
Yeah.
my F-ups, my, dating mess ups all in the private, and then when you find yourself and you've locked down who you are and maybe you've locked down a partner, go hard with it. And that's the advice I took, and I'm so glad.
Yeah.
So glad. But I think now that, I've done that, I'm ready to kind of get on social media and use my face to help other people.
All right, well, let's do it.
So I'm ready.
I know Fleek would be happy to do something with you.
I know Phoenix is down. She already came to me.
Every time you say that, I look into I'm like, why are you talking to the city?
Because she makes Phoenix for me. Like, we both grew up on 19th Ave when I first got down here. I don't know, 19th Ave, but it's not. So I was on 19th Ave and Thunderbird.
No, that's where my family lives.
Yeah.
That's where hookers are. Shout out hookers.
Shout out to everyone who used to stand at Circle K,
Now it's all
my latest
fentanyl on like hooker.
Well, because the trailer parks are right there, so I was spending a lot of time in the trailer parks. My best friend, but that's what it was. And now I think Phoenix has grown into something to where PR is a thing. We have to take control of our narrative before all these people moving in just decide to write their own story.
Let's get it. I'm
do
excited. That's why I wanted you to come on the show, because how often do we get to talk to like a PR in Arizona? You know what I'm saying? So, and I've known you for a minute, and
It's rare.
You've never switched up. That's one of the reasons why I respect you so much. You've always been PR.
I have always been working, always PR. I think a lot of states, I've been bullied in the PR industry for living here, but I like it because I do want to have a space that's low key and just for me. So I think with Phoenix changing, now I'm starting to not have to fly out for work.
Yeah.
So like WNBA, the All-Star Weekend.
Oh, we got everybody here. Like, that's what they send, the tax incentive for the filming.
I went to the Fenty party. That's when I knew. I mean, of course, Rihanna didn't come because we're Phoenix. We're not LA. But the fact that her brand had a party here told me everything I needed to know.
Oh, there's so much more. There's so much. It's so much going on.
In Jordan party.
Girl, there's so much going on. Hold up. Why wasn't I invited to the? Hold on.
Say that. How were you?
Why was I not at the Nike Jordan party? But
I was wondering, well, how are you not?
I don't know. I was probably sleeping because I enjoy my sleep these days more, girl, than like partying.
In bed at 9. Okay.
Why are you telling people my business, Reshauna?
That's my business. I think every publicist is in bed at 9.
Sometimes I partied. I started partying when I was a little girl, 11 years old.
You were so young.
I know. I was a party fucking animal. So much so that my mom called me Shawara. In Arabic, that means mother of the streets. Because I love to party.
Honestly, I could see that though.
I love partying.
I could see that.
I love to turn up. That's like, but I just don't want to party like that all the time.
Yeah. Unless it's like a big thing. I love concerts.
No,
I'm not saying concert.
I'm not saying I'm not gonna go out to concerts and stuff. I'll still do that. But to be like
every weekend
athlete parties, you know what I'm saying? It's cool to like go in and say what's up, but I'm not trying to, you know what I'm saying? I'm not trying to.
Yeah, we don't.
No shade.
Yes, we don't.
There's no reason. There's no reason for me to be there. Like, if they're trying to do business, okay. Yeah. Other than that, like, I'm not like.
For me, I'm like, I'll go if I could see this benefiting my client, I will go.
Okay.
But I think for me,
business. That's what I'm saying. If it's business, okay. But other than that, like, I'm not trying to turn up, go to these like athlete parties for what?
No, me and one of my guys, we have a thing. If it doesn't have a direct ROI to what our goal is, we are putting it down and leaving it there.
Right. And then going to bed at 9 p.m.
So you could be up at 3 and 4 a.m.
cuddling with my man.
Get your stuff started. Yep.
Just like that.
I love that. She dropped tea right now.
I didn't say no. Okay.
Did y'all hear that?
No, I didn't. Delete.
Let's go ahead and rewind, refocus that. I want to know. Wait,
wait, you're PR. You're on my side.
Okay.
Why are you trying?
Are we publicizing this?
No. No.
My bad. We're gonna do a special episode for that. I can help you kind of use that to
You're supposed to be on my side right now. You're kind of ruining my name.
I'm sorry. Well, dating, that's what gets the PR jumping.
Cut. Show's over. Thank you for coming to SongLab Live. We have some Reshauna here, with aka Miss Newsworthy.
Literally, here to spill the newsworthy beans right now.
There's no Newsworthy.
Come like for part 2.
Oh shit.
That's what the influencers say. Like for part 2.
For sure, there is going to be a part 2 with.
Yes, I agree.
Tell them where they can find you again.
So you can find me on missnewsworthy.com. That's msnewsworthy.com, or Miss Newsworthy on all the platforms.
Thanks for coming.
Yes, thanks for having me.
I'm so happy.
Thank you.
Don't thank him. He didn't even stick up for us or me. No, but you're.
I think you.
Are you an entrepreneur? Are you a musician? Are you an artist? Are you somebody that just has a story that wants to talk about what you've been through? I want to get to know you. I want to get to know all of you, because this is what this show is all about. All about your personality, your life. And if that's something that you think you want to do, please hit me up. You can go to Neveen The Queen on everything, or you can go to SongLab Live and also message me there. Get ready to have fun. Get ready to be silly, goofy, and just be yourself. And don't be afraid. Don't be afraid to be you. Oh, is somebody calling me? Let me see who it is.